The moment the news broke, the internet erupted. Not just whispers, not just speculation, but a storm that no one could contain. Headlines screamed across platforms, flashing their names like fire across every screen. Lee Min-ho. Kim Go-eun. It wasn't supposed to happen. The agencies had tried. Every contact had been made. Every post monitored. Every rumor buried before it even started. But nothing could stop the truth from leaking. Fans, journalists, and insiders alike were buzzing. A clip, brief, blurry, inconclusive, had found its way online. A moment so private it should have remained unseen. A moment between two people who had shared more smiles than the cameras would ever capture. And now it was everywhere. Lee Min-ho, the flawless star adored for years, and Kim Go-eun, the actress whose talent and elegance had never gone unnoticed, were suddenly at the center of controversy. Their image, carefully curated by professionals and polished by contracts, had shattered in one viral wave. The world reacted instantly. Social media exploded. Fan forums lit up with debate. Some defended them, claiming the clip was manipulated. Others shared screenshots, replayed videos, analyzed every second like detectives solving a mystery. And the agencies? They were panicked. Calls were made. Press releases drafted. Executives flew into emergency meetings, trying to control the damage. The industry that had built their fame, the very same industry that profited from their smiles, now tried desperately to silence the story. But silence had a price. Every attempt to erase the video, every plea to remove posts, only made it spread faster. The forbidden always attracts attention. Fans dug deeper. Speculation grew wilder. And with every passing hour, the narrative escaped the control of anyone who wanted it contained. Lee Min-ho, the man who had charmed millions with effortless grace, found himself in a position he had never faced before. The cameras were off, yet the world was still watching. The interviews he once breezed through felt impossible. Every public appearance now carried the weight of expectation, of scrutiny, of judgment. Kim Go-eun, the woman who had balanced talent and poise effortlessly, felt the sting as well. The whispers followed her to sets, to cafes, even to the quiet streets she had once walked freely. Every glance felt loaded. Every smile questioned. She had been careful, cautious, controlled, but none of it mattered anymore. The clip that started all was small. A shared glance, a moment of touch misinterpreted by outsiders, a laughter too familiar. Nothing scandalous in reality, but the internet never waits for context. The narrative had been written, and once written, it could never be erased. Fans dissected every frame. Analysts speculated about motives, contracts, hidden agendas. Theories ranged from secret relationships to personal betrayals, each one more sensational than the last. And as always, in the chaos of attention, someone always profits. The industry tried to fight back. Statements were released. Apologies drafted. Spokespeople claimed misunderstandings. They emphasized professionalism, respect, boundaries, the language of damage control. But the truth, whatever the truth was, had already escaped. And when the public has a story, control is an illusion. Lee Min-ho, who had always been the perfect image of composure, started to feel the cracks. He was no longer just an actor. He was a subject, an object, a headline. Every smile he gave in interviews, every pose on the red carpet, carried a hidden weight. He was aware now that the world was watching not just for talent, but for fault, for slip-ups, for proof of the scandal they all assumed was true. Kim Go-eun felt it too, differently. Where he faced scrutiny with silent endurance, she felt it in every interaction. The paparazzi, once a backdrop to her career, became a storm she could not avoid. The people she trusted whispered caution, and every friend became a messenger of warnings. And through it all, the moment that sparked the chaos lingered in her mind. It was innocuous at first, a glance, a laugh, a brief touch. But in the world of fame, innocence is rarely believed. The viral clip had become more than a story. It had become a symbol of secrets, of power, of control lost. And with every passing hour, the narrative expanded. Fans of Lee Min-ho were divided. Some defended him with ferocity. Others questioned motives, searching for signs that the star they loved could falter. Fans of Kim Go-eun reacted similarly. Many rallied to her side, claiming harassment, manipulation, and violation of privacy. Some, however, speculated on scandal, adding fuel to a fire that no one could extinguish. Meanwhile, the media circled. Every outlet, every gossip platform, every tabloid seemed to chase the same question. What really happened? And that question had no answer. The industry tried to issue guidelines, rules about disclosure, advisories to fans, legal notices. They threatened bans, contractual penalties, and even temporary blackouts for public appearances. They tried to remind everyone that these were professional individuals, that careers were at stake, that reputations were precious commodities. But it was too late. The internet had already rewritten the story in vivid detail. Memes were created, fictional narratives invented, parodies circulated, and somewhere in the chaos, the real people behind the viral clip, Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun, were invisible, almost irrelevant. Yet, even as the world watched, they lived in parallel realities. Behind closed doors, away from screens and shouting fans, they processed the fallout in silence. Lee Min-ho, for the first time in his career, felt powerless. Not because of fans or media, but because the one thing he valued, his truth, could no longer be controlled. He replayed the clip endlessly, questioning every movement, every expression. He wondered how one simple moment had grown into a storm capable of engulfing everything he had built. Kim Go-eun, equally devastated, tried to reclaim control. She stopped scrolling. She avoided interviews. She focused on work, on projects that reminded her why she had started. But the shadow of the viral moment followed. Like an invisible companion, she could not shake. The truth was simple. They had done nothing wrong. Yet the world insisted otherwise. And that insistence created a new reality. One where perception became truth and reality became irrelevant. In the following weeks, attempts to return to normalcy failed. Every scene filmed, every public appearance, every casual smile was measured, judged, and replayed. The pressure was suffocating, and yet neither could speak openly. Because to speak meant acknowledging the scandal. To deny meant feeding the rumor. And so they endured. The world, meanwhile, continued to speculate. Fiction became fact. Fans dissected interviews for hidden meanings. Analysts created theories with headlines like secret relationship or career sabotage, and the hidden truth behind the viral clip. The agencies continue to try. Statements, legal action, warnings. But the viral moment had slipped through their fingers.